Tennis fans predict whether Elena Rybakina can stop Aryna Sabalenka in the Australian Open final. Aryna Sabalenka and Elena Rybakina are set to battle for the 2026 Australian Open women's singles title in what promises to be one of the most thrilling finals in recent memory. Both stars reached the championship match in dominant fashion, winning their semifinals in straight sets. Sabalenka brushed aside Elena Svitolina 6-2, 6-3, while Rybakina overcame Jessica Pegula 6-3, 7-6. This isn't the first time these two have faced off for the Daphne Akerst Memorial Cup. 3 years ago, they met in the Australian Open final, with Sabalenka coming from behind to win 4-6, 6-3, 6-4. Now, the big question remains, who will lift the trophy this time? Fans split on who will win the Australian Open title ahead of the final. Tennis supporters have been debating fiercely about which player will emerge victorious. Some fans believe Rybakina is ready to take the crown. Elena Rybakina for the trophy. If it's anything like what we saw today, I can't wait. When Elena is on, she can be unstoppable. To get a clearer picture, Talking Points asked fans earlier this week to vote for their predicted champion. Tennis fans slightly favor Sabalenka. The results showed Aryna Sabalenka as the leading pick, receiving 46% of the vote, while Rybakina earned 35%. It wasn't an overwhelming margin, but Sabalenka enters Saturday's final as the slight favorite, and her record in Melbourne explains why. Sabalenka's incredible Australian Open dominance. Sabalenka has built an outstanding legacy at the Australian Open, already winning the title twice. Aryna Sabalenka at the Australian Open year result record 2026 final versus Rybakina 6-0 * 2025 runner-up, lost to Keys 6-12,024 champion 7-0202, 3 champion 7-0 overall. She has won 26 of her last 27 matches in Melbourne, making her one of the most dominant forces the tournament has seen in years. Rybakina's Australian Open journey. While Rybakina hasn't been as consistent at the event, she has still delivered major performances, including reaching the final twice. Elena Rybakina at the Australian Open year result record 2026 final versus Sabalenka 6-0-25 fourth round, 3-12,023 runner-up, lost to Sabalenka 6-1. However, her Australian Open history includes several surprising early exits, which has prevented her from matching Sabalenka's consistency. Sabalenka versus Rybakina. One of tennis' best rivalries, this matchup has quickly become one of the most exciting rivalries in women's tennis. After 14 meetings, Sabalenka leads the head-to-head 8-6, but momentum may be shifting. Rybakina won their most recent clash at the 2025 WTA Finals in Riyadh, defeating Sabalenka in straight sets, 7-6, 6-3. That victory could give the Kazakh star confidence heading into the biggest match of her season. What's at stake in the final? For Rybakina, winning the Australian Open would be monumental. It would give her a second Grand Slam title, separate her from the group of one-time Slam champions, strengthen her position as the world number 3. For Sabalenka, the stakes may be even greater. A third Australian Open title in 4 years would cement her dominance in the sport and move her closer to the all-time greats. Some fans are even beginning to debate where she ranks historically among the best players of her era. Fans react to Sabalenka's presence on court. While many admire Sabalenka's intensity and power, some supporters have voiced criticism over her loud grunting, claiming it can distract opponents and fans. Still, her results speak louder than anything else. She remains the world number 1 and a fierce competitor in Melbourne. Final showdown. Saturday, January 31. The stage is set for an unforgettable championship match. Aryna Sabalenka versus Elena Rybakina. Two powerhouse players, one trophy. The Women's Australian Open final takes place on Saturday, January 31st, 2026, and it's not one tennis fans will